What's good, everybody? It is Friday, February 18th, 2022. This is The Early Edge, your daily sports betting brand of record. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all of sports betting, and it's not even close. Of course, I am the coach. I'm here every single day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Now, we nearly had, as far as my cappers are concerned, a perfect day on the show Thursday. If it wasn't for the Pelicans, we would have had. Now, unfortunately, the underdog, which had been pretty good, those two picks are exclusive to our social media on Twitter and on Instagram. They went 0-2, but they've been hitting tremendously well for us the last few days, so that was bound to happen. But I love all those green check marks. Also, if you were following our man Buckets yesterday, how about a perfect 6-0 day for him? All right? Now, let's bring in the stars of the show. And you know, on a Friday when you got to get your energy picked up, I got to bring in my heavy hitters. First and foremost, live from Nashville, Tennessee, the penthouse level, M Squared. Good morning, sir.
I love that I'm the guy you bring in for a lot of energy, Coach. I really love that I'm that guy. But good morning, everybody. Great to see you guys. Let's do this.
That is kind of ironic, I guess. That is kind of ironic. Also, live from Nashville, Tennessee, but 8 floors below, dial up, AB. Good morning.
Good morning, Coach. Yeah, and you're right. You know, if M Squared's not going to be the energy guy, at least Chief is. We know Chief's going to bark his head off today, have himself a nice Friday. We like it.
Speaking of head off, look at you. Just all of it off. I mean, you're going to morph into the coach before it's all said and done.
Hey, that's the goal, right?
Oh, my gosh. Said nobody ever. Said nobody ever. All right, finally, he is our anchor. He's been here literally since day one. Maestro, good morning.
Good morning. This feels like an old school type of a show today. But, Coach, I had a 3-0 last night. I thought I was going 5-0 in college hoops. At worst, I thought I'm going 4-1. And I don't know if you saw the Santa Clara was up 10. They were laying 5 to Loyola. They get up 6 with 4 seconds to go. Why do you take a layup at the buzzer? Go for a 3. Are you just trying to pad your stats? Well, they took a layup at the buzzer, 4-point final, but that's how it goes.
Yeah, I fell asleep last night to Santa Clara with the lead, California with the lead, the under sitting pretty in the underdog, and I woke up to 0-3 on those picks. So, yes, I'm very aware of the Santa Clara allowing. I hate that late lay-in with a second to go. It happens all the time. All right, let's get into our storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And I'm going to start with Mikey because they've already started round 2 of the Genesis. And if you paid attention to our coverage the entire week, and if you watched us on First Cut, round 1 went just as we said that it would. Mikey, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so I just want to hit on the leaderboard and then what I'm looking for in round 2, whether it's matchups, DFS, and then going forward in tournaments. There's always opportunity. Is there big inefficiencies following the first round? So look for the top 40 in the actual leaderboard. And then if you can find live strokes gain data, I want to look for players who are in the top 40 of the leaderboard, top 10 in strokes gained tee to green, and then either negative or neutral, not gaining any strokes or losing strokes on the putting greens. We have 4 players that really fit that bill today. Jon Rahm, number 1 here. 22nd leaderboard, almost 5 strokes gained tee to green, lost 3 strokes putting. That typically isn't going to happen for Jon Rahm. Number 2, Justin Thomas, 6th in the leaderboard, 4.5 tee to green, lost a half a stroke putting. And then Russell Knox, 12th on the leaderboard, 4.3 tee to green, lost 1.36 on the putting greens, which is interesting. If you're watching live, he just eagled his first hole of the day. I'm going to bring that number back really, really quickly. And then Colin Morikawa, a little bit different with him because he gained 2.61 tee to green while actually losing on the approach, which is hard to do and not something he does very often.
Boy, that's a lot of great information, and a lot of those guys that he mentioned aren't teeing off until the afternoon wave. So you've got a great chance. We say educate and entertain all the time. Use that information, and whatever matchup you have, use that player. That's kind of why Mikey does it that way. By the way, Michael in the chat says, loving the educational slant of M Squared with golf yesterday and today. Yes, it's a very university-style take from our man M Squared today as we educate and we entertain. That was a horrible Martin W. Green impression. Okay, now, we've already hit on golf, and we've got college basketball in our sights. But I saw a number today, AB, that surprised me a little bit. The road teams this year have surprisingly been pretty good. Talk to me.
They have, Coach. And if you look, they're about 53% against the spread, and it's getting better as we're getting closer to conference tournaments. Obviously, Selection Sunday is just around the corner. Pay attention to these road teams, especially, usually you would look at short spreads. Look at the longer spreads. That's where you're finding these road teams that are covering. So just something to keep an eye on the last 2.5 weeks of the season here.
All right, very good. Oh, Eric in the chat says second day in a row with no 10 a.m. meeting. Great to be here live again, fellas. Eric, great to have you live. And the man right above, Eric in the chat. Oh, look who we have. The machine stopping by. I would encourage you to keep watching, sir. I would encourage you to keep watching. All right, now, Maestro. We always tout ourselves as the most transparent show in all of sports betting. Yes, we say that?
I've heard that, yes.
Yeah, we have heard that. But we have holes in our game. We don't sit up here and say, hey, we have everything figured out. But one of those holes we're going to fill starting next week, and I am here for it. I'm excited about it. Tell the people.
Yeah, this is probably overdue, but now more and more books offering spreads on women's college basketball. And, the women's tournament last year was amazing. More than 4 million people watched the final, Stanford beating Arizona. There was that huge, crazy game with Baylor and UConn. So it's about time that we get some women's college basketball picks. And I am really excited about the duo that I found. We're going to introduce them next week on the site, maybe on the show as well. But, the credentials are impeccable, including some heavy analytics, and also the track record is very, very strong. So excited to roll that out next week.
Damn it, I'm excited too. I can't wait to have more and more campers, more and more sports, because we are leading into something in the next 12 months that I cannot wait to tell all the good people at home about. And when the time comes, I will do that. Do not forget to smash that like button for me. It helps the show on YouTube. And if you're listening on Apple and Spotify, welcome to all of you as well. Let's get into our board for the day. We've got 2 plays from SportsLine. Our first, we're going to go to the pitch. I've been sitting on this stupid Juventus futures ticket for what seems like 6 months. But they are playing really, really good soccer now. We're going to take them to win minus 165. I know, juice a little hot. But today, certainly, the juice is worth the squeeze. And this, Torino, they've only scored 6 times on the road, and they've conceded 12. Not good. Juventus is unbeaten against Torino since 2015. We'll take Juventus to win minus 165. Now, as many of you know, the SportsLine picks from the site, I choose those. I decide who we're going to go with. And I was looking today through the college basketball schedule. It's not extensive, but there are some games that really kind of piqued my interest. And one of those is in the Big Ten. And I've really been focused on Maryland lately. I said, you know what? What's Maryland doing today? They're minus 2 against Nebraska. So I went to SportsLine and I went through the picks. And guess who picked Nebraska? My man Jay Smooth picked Nebraska. So for the first time ever in the history of the Early Edge, I am throwing out a showdown with a man that's not even on the show. I'm taking Maryland. And Jay Smooth, if you accept, put it into the chat right now. Say, Coach, play the music. That's all I need you to write into the chat. And if you don't say play the music, then I'll know that you are book, chicken. We're taking Maryland. Official play on the show, minus the 2. Jay Smooth, let me know. Oh, look at Chad. He says, what? That's right. We can do it. We can do it. All right.
Play the music, baby, he says.
He says play the music, baby.
Mikey? I just want to remind him, I sent him my simulation data last night too, and I have Maryland minus 3.8, so I definitely lean on the Maryland side.
Yes, Maestro.
And I will say Maryland's the kind of team that could actually beat any team in the country, but you got to check Ayala. I mean, he's the leading scorer. Is he going to play tonight? For coach's sake, I hope so.
I actually have a source inside the Maryland athletic department, and they have told me he will play tonight. I already got that. It was a little text at 3 a.m. Equipment managers are amazing. They're amazing. All right. The first ever showdown without the capper on the show. Amazing. In the chat. We're making history every single day. But there are certain things. Yes, Drip. Witnessing history. Let's go. There are certain things that will never change. I don't care if we're on the air for 30, 40, 50 years, which we will be. Some things will never change, and this will never change because it's one of my favorite things to do in all of the world. So M squared, let's get it going. You know the drill, son! Give it to me.
All right, another round 2 matchup at the Genesis. This one won't seem like free money like yesterday until they get out on the course. I do love this one, though. It's Colin Morikawa minus 110 against Xander Schauffele. Yes, these are two of the best players on tour. I mentioned earlier, Colin Morikawa, very interesting round 1. He gained 2.61 strokes tee to green while losing on the approach. He's one of the better approach players on tour, frankly, in terms of just ball striking in general, which is the recipe for success here. It's good that he was able to gain those strokes while losing on the approach, still in a solid position on the leaderboard. On the other side, Xander, just a normal kind of Xander round in round 1. But what I like about Morikawa here is if he's finding the putting stroke at all, which he was yesterday, that is when you want to look out for him. He has the opportunity to go very, very low at any moment. It wouldn't shock me at all if he contends and has a potential to win this thing on Sunday. I'm taking Colin Morikawa minus 110 over Xander Schauffele because we are going to be early on Morikawa's success again this year.
You are damn right. By the way, a little added bonus pick for you. Cameron Young. He's a name that's tied at the top. All right. I've been talking about him a little bit for the last year or so. Nobody knows who he is. If you have a number on him, because right now I don't have a number. Do you have a number on Cameron Young, Mikey? Or could you look it up for me?
I can look to see if there's anything current, but I didn't earlier this morning.
Right. All right. So over the weekend, if he stays in contention, he's probably going to have a really, really big number. Sprinkle a little bit on him. I played with him. This dude is legit. I mean, legit. And nobody knows who he is. Cameron Young is the name. You have a number?
Yeah, he's 50-1 right now to win the tournament. And to that point, if you have the book, it won't happen right this moment. But after this round, you'll be able to grab live top 5, top 10s. I would certainly consider some of the top 10, top 20 type stuff that'll probably still be in the plus 400 range.
I love it. Thank you, Mikey. Oh, I love Cameron Young. And a good dude, too. He doesn't even have social media. And I've told him, I said, you got to get social media. He's like, I don't want to do it, coach, but we're getting him there. We're getting him there. All right. Now, God, I love the show already today. I love these picks already today. But I love these next two so very much. AB, floor is yours.
Thank you, Coach. We're going to go to college basketball today. And look, I tell you what, I'm going to put my hood up because this is what Richmond is going to face all day today against VCU. Just smothering defense. They're going to be all over them. You look at what VCU's accomplished. Look, they're great off short rest. 66% against the spread with less than 4 days off. They're also 62% against the spread overall this season and have already covered once against Richmond, and they're going to do it again today. So take VCU minus 2.5. We're also going to play Detroit minus 1 because, I don't know. They're a perfect 100% against the spread this season at home. Detroit is 6-1 against the spread as a favorite as well. Northern Kentucky, 0-1 against the spread this season versus Detroit already. So, yeah, take Detroit minus 1. Take VCU minus 2.5.
Detroit is like a Jekyll and Hyde team. On the road, horrendous. At home, it's like they're a different team. Literally like they're a different team. I love that pick today. Love that pick on Detroit. What is Ed says, I did not expect this show to get this sexy. I don't even know what that means. Clearly, he's talking about AB. All right. Michael says, anything for the NBA All-Star. I know, degenerate. But, Michael, that's what we're here for, pal. Just hang tight. We might have something for you. All right. Now, whenever we get to this part of the show, it doesn't matter how many picks are before. It is special, and it is special every single time because of this man. Maestro, what do you have for us today?
All right, I'm going to the MAC. This is a pretty intense rivalry with Siena and Marist. They're about 80 miles apart, and there were some words exchanged before the first game. Some of these players do know each other from their high school days, and Marist was up 17 points with under 13 minutes to go. The Siena coach switched to a 1-3-1 zone, changed the entire course of the game, got out of their man-to-man. They shut him down, and they ended up winning by 7. Now you have the rematch in Siena. Both teams are playing well, 3 wins in a row for each team. Marist actually rates very highly in the metrics, but I just think Siena at home, this is going to be a good crowd tonight, a good atmosphere. They just knocked off Iona. They've beaten Marist 8 straight times at home. They actually have the player of the week in the conference, and I'll take Siena only laying a point. I do see it moving up 1.5 and 2 at other places, but you could definitely get 1 at a lot of major books.
Every time I think of Siena, I they play in an arena in Albany, New York, correct? They play in Albany, right? It reminds me of a time when I first started in wrestling. And there was all these, we called them dirt sheets, people writing articles about all of us. And this one guy, he hated me. Like every week, he hated everything that I did. And it was crushing my ego because I was just starting, right? We go to Albany, and there's a little Chinese restaurant right next to the arena. I go over there, and this little kid comes up, acne all over his face, maybe 15 years old. He's like, Coach, can I get a picture? I go, yeah, of course, you get a picture. He goes, and he says the name, and he's the writer of the article that had been pounding on me for like 6 or 8 months. And I'm like, I've been worrying about a 15-year-old snot-nosed kid telling he doesn't like the way I went through a table. Oh, man, it messed with me. It messed with me for a while. And that's what I think every time I think of Siena. All right, we're up against it. Grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap, and it is glorious. All right, by the way, don't forget we have UFC coming up on Saturday. My man Andrew Gamba's already chomping at the bit to get his picks in tomorrow. Maestro's on Siena, -1, M squared. This is a later start. Morikawa, Schauffele, they're in the afternoon wave. AB, VCU, -2.5. Detroit, great team at home, -1. And then from SportsLine, if you're not a member, what are you doing? Use the promo code EDGE right here, right now. I'll give you 30 days for free. Juventus, -165 on the money line. And then Maryland, -2 and a showdown with the machine. Me and Jay Smooth. And then the two-piece today for all of you degenerates, we're going to go Team LeBron on the money line and the over 321. And before all of you go, what? Yes, in the All-Star game, it's ridiculous rules, how they end it. Just rest assured, the over will come in. It comes in every single year. It's just a matter of what team is going to win. That's the case. All right. I think we've done all the damage that we can do. And we have Jay Smooth still typing in the chat. Whenever he types a lot, that means he's nervous, and he should be. He should be very nervous. Maryland, I love you tonight. There's Jay Smooth. Oh, wow. The site play is literally against me. It took you that long to figure it out? Wait, bring everybody back up on the screen. Wait a second. Did it just take him 5 minutes to figure out what we were doing?
Yeah, I had to hit mute. I started laughing.
I say all the time there's levels to this game. Sometimes it doesn't seem fair. And right now, this doesn't seem very fair. Oh, my God. It took him 5 minutes to figure out what we were doing.
Hey, the machine's running a little slow this morning. So
yeah, it's a little bit off. Let's reboot. Just turn it off, turn it right back on. Maybe he'll figure it out.
He thought you were singling him out with like nothing to back it up.
Oh, well, that would never happen. I always say this. I only play if I have pocket aces. I'm not going to stay in the game unless I have pocket aces. All right. Now, let me get back to what I was doing. There's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, love them all, even Jay Smooth, M Square, Dial Up, the Maestro, and of course, the jeweler is always lurking as our executive producer, who's in charge of everything that we do. Tell all your friends, you want to have some fun? You want to be included? You want to be at a place where everybody is welcome? It's right here, the Early Edge. Good luck.